I'm just sitting here waiting for Halloween. Oh, hey guys, Gina here with Hollywood Hunter. Chris is on the other side of the camera.
Hello!
You guys, it's finally here!
Is that the Halloween dance?
This is the Halloween dance. Do-do-do.
Do-do-do.
You guys, we are working on Halloween!
Yay!
Hooray!
We are not even unpacked yet, but we're working on Halloween.
More important stuff to do, you know? Anyway, you guys, here is the plan. I'm not sure if we're gonna get it done, but we're gonna try. We're gonna build some pumpkins.
Carve some
We're
pumpkins.
gonna make them out of foam. And these are
Foam.
not just your funkin'-sized pumpkins. These are gonna be
Big boys.
Fat Maxes or whatever you call them. They're gonna be the big pumpkins because we're gonna do a pumpkin patch in our front yard. We're gonna try to do a witch's shack in our front yard. We're gonna have a cauldron, skeletons, ghosts, you name it. We're gonna try to do it. So you guys who are waiting and anticipating, is Hollywood Hunter ever gonna do anything Halloween again? Yes, we are. And yes, we're gonna try. So we'll see. But today is the day for starting our pumpkins.
Yes.
So we got these big blocks of foam.
Yes.
Everyone asks us all the time, where do you get these big blocks of foam? Well, here's the answer. Craigslist, a hunter found them. They tore it out of a theater. They used it for soundproofing. They got a bunch and they divvied it between all the hunters in SoCal.
Yes.
We got some. This is left over from like 2011, 2012.
Yes.
And we've just been storing it and using it for different projects here and there. But now, we're going to use it and we're going to make some big pumpkins.
And just so you guys know, there are a couple little foam distributors here in Los Angeles, and a piece like this from them, like Foam Mart, or there's a couple other places online, it would run you about $100. But you could get these shipped to you.
Or, second alternative is you can get the sheets and just glue however thick you need and make your own squares. So today we're going to show you how to cut the foam.
And we brought in someone to help us show off our homemade hot wire foam cutters. Oh, he's kind of shy.
Maybe he needs his theme music.
We can try it. Hey!
There you are, Michael. He's going to help us cut our foam today. He's super excited and so are we.
Okay, so here's our little homemade hot wire foam cutter setup. And this thing has changed several times over the years. And a lot of this stuff isn't necessarily necessary. We did it because we either saw it online or it was a safety thing. You have a single pole dimmer switch that goes into a step-down transformer, and then the electricity connects to each end of the wire and heats up the wire, and then the wire cuts the foam. We put an on-off switch that kills the power to this, because a lot of times what would happen is I used to just have this at first, and I would, you know, when I went to go turn off the wire after we cut, I would go either higher or lower and the thing would turn red and burn up the wire and stuff. So it just ended up being easier for us to just turn this off and on, off and on. What ended up happening is we ended up getting this power strip that has the little GFI right there. So this on and off switch actually kind of works the same way as this. Then you have this light, which is kind of a nice option, especially if you're working around other people or kids and stuff, because basically when this is turned on, you can kind of tell everybody, hey, when this light's on, there's a wire that's really hot, so stay the heck away. The way that I wired this up is I have the power wire that I just cut off of an old extension cord or something, ran it into here, and then I've got this light and this little extension piece connected to everything and wired up this light switch. Then the wire goes into this single pole dimmer switch, and it's wired to that, and then the cord comes out that is connected to a step down power supply if you're smart. Sometimes we use one without any transformer. We just hook it directly up to the power. You just have to be really careful if you're going to do that. It does work really well. Sometimes if you're not being careful, you can burn up the wire, you can start the foam on fire, you know, you could burn yourself, that kind of thing. So using a step-down one is definitely recommended, because you can't cut foam unless you've got power. But what I usually do is I'll just get old power supplies and stuff like that from the thrift store or wherever I see them. A lot of times for the personal cutter, like a 12 volt 3 amp or 2 amp works really good. But again, you just trial and error. I touch it to the wires and then see how it heats up and cuts the foam. Then what I have coming off the transformer is I wired a plug there that can be unplugged, and there's a zip cord that I tore in half. It's about 17 feet-ish, and I have some alligator clips that I soldered on the end of it, and then I took some heat shrink and just put around it to kind of protect it. Basically, just take those clips, clip them on either side of whatever wire cutter we're using, whether it's the handheld ones or the couple cutters that we have, and we heat it up and cut the foam.
Hey Michael, grab me another sheet of foam.
Here's our little handheld personal hot wire foam cutter that we made. It's good for getting a lot of the corner edges off of the big chunks. I didn't glue any of the fittings, that way I can always customize it or change the size. Up here inside this PVC cap, I just ran a machine screw this way after I drilled a hole, and then I used this wing nut to tighten around the wire. I put these springs on each one of the cutters just to give it some play, but I almost think it works just as good without one, because it's not like the wire's expanding and tensioning that much. Here's our 2-person hot wire foam cutters right here. The handles, just like on the personal little cutter, I ran some screws through the PVC cap with nylocks and wing nuts there to hold the wire on. You got a spring for tension. And then I also have this other type where I took some old trowels and I drilled holes. You can either silicone or use this tape, and the same thing. I got a wing nut to hold on our wire and a spring, that kind of thing. They both work well. Just depends on your preference. The wire that we are using is a welding wire. We just have lots of it. You can use nichrome, guitar string. There's lots of different things that will work. We just use this because we have lots of it. The length of these are about 8 feet. That works really good for the step-down transformer that we have. Here's our handheld like bow setup. It's a little bit over 4 feet wide. That way you can actually cut a 4-foot panel in half if you need to. Again, nothing's glued. It's all 1-inch PVC. You can take this thing apart, change the size and stuff. You can either use this 1 person or 2 people on each side to cut. It works really well. So now that you guys have seen our little hot wire foam cutting setup, let's hook it up to some cutters and show you guys how it works.
No!
Even though Gina's awesome at cutting with the wire freehand, she really doesn't need this. If you ever want to get crazy and cut a nice perfect edge, you could always use a straight edge like this. Piece of aluminum of some sorts. What I did is I drilled little holes, and then we just take these little nails, and you can stab them into the foam like this.
No!
And then you just run your wire down that.
Michael, no!
Here, let's do the other side.
Michael Myers, no.
Ah!
No.
Really, Michael? No.
Look at that.
Not too bad. We kind of messed it up right there a little bit. But
Hey, that's
I don't know. I
pretty
think
dang
I
good.
think we're pretty good with freehand though too. I think we could do pretty much the same thing.
Well, it's nice.
It's one of those things if you have to be real precise. I think when we didn't have it really turned up very hot, if we made it hotter, it would have went faster.
Yeah, we should have turned it up a little bit more next time.